This week on Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes, the nerds discuss the passing of the legendary Stan Lee. They also introduce a new segment called Nerd Turd, answer questions from listeners, and talk a little bit about all of the weekly nerd news. All of this on this episode of Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes.
All right, welcome to Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes. Oh, man. All right. Cool. Forgot we were doing this live. Chaz, who let you wild men in here? You guys, get out of here. Crazy. All right, well, I am your host, Nathan. All right. Calm down. We got Big Daddy Ray here. Ooh, wow. I mean, I know people hate Ray, but why would you come to a live event that he's going to be at? What about our big, lovable Mike Lominac? Anybody? There we go. Everybody likes them some Mike Lominac. How about Plain Jane TJ? Okay. Charles. Is there any Charles fans in the house? 1, 2, 3. So like 15 of you. Okay, wow. Not the expectation we were thinking we would get with a live podcast, but it is what it is. So we're going to take a quick break, do our nerd-ons. All right, yeah, nerd-on, people love that. And we'll be right back. Stick around.
All right, welcome back. The audience left because they realized that Ray, TJ,
so
and Chuck were going to show up.
We didn't agree to this.
Yeah, apparently they thought it was a Nathan and Mike live
power hour.
Yeah, power hour.
Yeah, we were finally going to do our
power banging hour,
our spooky stuff podcast.
Yeah, but under the guys, Nerds Get Laid. I don't know why.
Nerds should get spooky.
Knocking the bottom out of it.
Talking about Satan, y'all.
Nerds should get spooky. I like that.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing?
Hi.
Pretty good.
Great.
I'm breathing.
I'm not sick anymore. So
yeah,
that's good to get that 24-hour. Got to leave early flu.
No, that 48-hour lay in bed all day on Friday.
I got that all the time.
Guys,
Sounds wonderful.
I have some pretty cool announcement. I actually now know
to an extent
that Charles lives in.
To an extent.
Because when I pulled up to pick him up, he told me he was locking up, and I looked to the ditch to the right, and I saw him tossing branches over stuff.
How do you lock up a tent?
then he threw a John Cena picture on top of it.
Nobody's seen that shit. Camouflage. Yeah, nobody will ever see that.
So I now know the official ditch.
Yeah, there's a reason why. Because
John Cena flush.
My feet hurt. I've been walking a lot this week.
Yeah.
And flip-flops of all things.
Just wearing them down to the soul.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I can brave walking in flip-flops.
After 18 years of love and devotion.
The truck's 19, man.
19. that shit bucket finally kicked it.
That's just the starter and the starter cell line.
You know,
Finally
the starter's a lot like the heart.
It's the heart.
Nah.
No, that's more like the aorta. It's the starter.
It had a heart attack.
Yeah.
And that's the widowmaker of a vehicle.
And you just won't let it pass. It's probably up in car heaven right now, and then it's going to get sucked back down.
No, Bobby at P69. Yeah. He's coming to fix your truck.
No, I finally got to see my dad. Henry.
Oh,
you racist fuck.
19 years of getting driven back and forth for what is it? Sorry, Chuck. Driven, Mr.
You said
driven.
Excuse
me, Chuck.
Oh, you're welcome.
Really adding to the podcast with your corrections over there.
All right, Galacticus.
I mean, since he had to bust his feet through the bottom of it to make it go anywhere, I mean, it's...
I will say, though, if you drive like 2.5 miles a day, you'll get 18 years. I want to know, what was your gas budget? Like $5? Like...
Well, it takes him 40 minutes to get from
Not like
Wichita
$5
over
a
here.
Week, like $5,
Yeah.
just $5.
Like, were you still driving on the original full tank that when you bought it?
Hell no.
My dad said never let it go below half a tank.
Everything's classic in this thing. The gas is leaded.
The gas is leaded.
You know how far he has to go to get leaded gas?
To Russia.
He actually, a lot of his money goes to re-letting gas.
Just has the steel pipes at a Ray's house and then shave it off into his tank. That's perfect.
Yeah, it's a double. It's working out perfect for it.
Yeah, I was reading actually. I've seen many different like articles and stuff saying that when they remove lead from gas, the next generation of kids' IQ is like 10 or 20 points higher on average after they remove lead from gas.
I guess it's a lot healthier to huff now.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Oh, brown bag dreams, baby.
Well, anytime I think about huffing gas, I think about that Philip Seymour Hoffman movie.
Oh, yeah.
The airplane glue movie.
It's airplane
I've heard
gas.
multiple people tell me about this movie, and I have never seen it. I want to see it.
I believe it's called Dear Liza.
It is. That's what it's called.
And it is a
Depressing movie.
very dark comedy. It's definitely depressing.
Like Get Out, dark comedy type.
I never watched Get Out.
Well, it's a side note, but I argue with my parents that this movie is a dark comedy. They're convinced it's a horror movie.
Well, yeah, to old Republicans, it probably is. But I think Get Out was supposed to be a dark comedy. But it's definitely like his wife had killed herself. I guess a year before. And
She let us laugh.
She wrote him a letter, and he can't bring himself to read it. So he slowly starts huffing gas, and then goes to airplane model glue.
Nice.
Yeah.
And there's like because like he keeps going to like the model shop, and he's like, I just need some glue, and he's like, well, what are you building? He's like, just give me that, and like points to a random set, and like as it progresses, he walks into his house, and there's all these unopened model kits laying around his apartment, and just empty canisters of him huffing all the glue. Wow. It's a pretty wild movie. But I highly suggest it's one of his best.
When he reads the letter at the end, does it say, I was fucking your brother the whole time?
No.
That's what I am, your brother.
But I highly, if you like Philip Seymour Hoffman, check it out. But enough about him. He's dead. Let's move on to the Nerd On.
A lot of people don't think that we be nerding out the way that we claim to on this podcast. They don't understand that when we're not podcasting, we're not riding around in sports cars and watching sports radio, but we're reading comic books and watching movies based on comic books. This is the Nerd On. Oh yeah. About to get my nerd on. What you say, Jimmy Ray? Mike, TJ, and Charles?
All right, here's the Nerd On. As you heard,
That's the first time I've heard it. Actually, I didn't get a chance to listen to it.
Sorry,
yet.
everybody was talking over it then, so you couldn't truly enjoy it. As Mike just calls it terrible numerous times when he does fucking nothing to contribute.
I am the funniest person on this podcast.
I remember Mike's new
I bring
segment.
chuckles.
I'm just going to start shitting on everything Mike does. Like, hey, check this out. Oh, that's really nice. Mike is a piece of shit. That's terrible.
You remember that one time Mike did the news intro?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Whatever.
Yeah, it was dog shit. Hey, I listened to the podcast where Mike hosted. Fucking sucked.
Which one?
Every one of them.
You told me
there's a lot.
You've told me numerous times you do not listen to the podcast you are not in.
So
Thank you very
You're a
much.
fucking liar.
And if you look at the plays, nobody else does it.
Because Nate just is like, let me play this 500 times.
I pay
My jokes never get old.
I pay a man in Russia that can just click our podcast that I'm on.
All day long.
Just numerous plays. Anyway, this is our Nerd On. I hope you guys are enjoying. I'll just go ahead and kick off one of my small Nerd Ons. As I spent the entire afternoon coming up with new section theme music, so you're going to get to hear a lot of that this episode, so I hope you enjoy it. But with that being said, did you hear Chuck go, huh?
I said, yeah.
Anyway,
I was
Ray,
agreeing with you.
So far, I'm loving them, Nate.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just listen out for
There's something on your nose there, TJ.
No, I'm honestly like laughing at these.
Who's
These are
giving you a ride
hilarious.
home?
Anyway, Ray, What's your nerd?
I know what I have to do to pay for that ride. So
Rules of the road, man. It's okay. Better than beating feet.
I've been keeping up with Titans on DC Universe.
Okay.
And I think their 5th episode just came out. Jason Todd has shown up as the new Robin, taking over for
okay.
Dick
Grayson, who's one of the main characters, of course, a member of the Titans and all. And I still maintain that, like, I can't say it's worth buying DC Universe for this series because it's the only original content they have.
Mm-hmm.
But they do have all the stuff like the Batman animated series, a bunch of the Superman stuff, Superman movies and all.
The animated movies also.
Yeah, a lot of animated movies. Not all of them, but a bunch of them.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's worth it just for this, but this is a nice addition because I didn't buy it for the original content that they're putting on here. I wanted to read the comic books.
How many comics are on there now then?
Yeah, probably like 40 now or something like that.
Oh, really good ones.
No, the comic stuff I'm really, really disappointed in right now. I have yet to read a comic on there. They don't put full runs on there. They just put little snippets of parts of runs and stuff like that.
Like 3 issues of like an 8 and 9 issue run.
They have like
The old bait and
Detective
switch.
Comics 27, but they only have the Batman story in it, and there's like other stories in that. And then they'll have like Batman 1 through 5, like 1 through 5, like original 19 whatever 42. I made that number up.
But
I don't
those
know
tales are
what I don't know
great.
what the fuck year Batman came out, but they'll have like 1 through 5, and then they'll have 364.
Yeah.
And 365, and then 382, like that, and it's just really annoying. But I did see that they are apparently going to they're going to have a extra add-on that you can add to get the whole discography. I don't know, like the whole library.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yes.
What a load of shit.
I don't know how much it's going to be yet.
It shouldn't cost anything.
It
If you're already
shouldn't.
paying
It
for the
shouldn't.
service.
Well, if it's anything like the Iron Man Mark 50 Hot
Okay,
Toys
yeah.
accessory pack, it's going to be a nice rear end for Christmas.
Yeah.
there.
Oh,
Yeah, so
that's dirty.
we'll see when that happens.
pretty much like EA,
Can I
like EA
just buy
games.
the addition and
Here's
not
the
the
games,
other?
here's half.
Yeah.
the-
Yeah,
Low
I
down.
wonder.
I just want the comics. I don't care about
Mr.
this.
If I had a rubber hose. That's from the Christmas
Yeah.
Vacation.
How much? Oh no, you bought the full year, so you don't know how
I
much it
bought
is
the
a
full
month.
year and then got 15 months instead of 12. I got like extra months added in. And it is only like, I think it was $60, maybe almost $70, $60 something dollars. So that's not horrible for a whole
still,
year.
that's
or
not-
15
when you're
months.
having to pay,
But no,
even if
yeah,
it's
That's not
$2
what it was
more a month.
advertised, though.
No, absolutely not. So, but
This is bullshit.
all of that on top, all of that to say, the Titans show has been pretty enjoyable for what it is.
It's not, but it's not the selling point.
to go back to
No.
that line of crap, I hope nobody pays the extra so other companies don't pull that shit with other things.
Yeah.
Because I can see this being a real slippery slope
it's
for
according
other
to how
stuff.
much the extra is, and if it's a monthly thing, a one-time thing, or a
Oh, it
like
shouldn't
yearly
be an anytime
thing.
It'll
thing.
say only an add-on thing.
Definitely
Yeah,
be monthly.
Yeah, it's definitely
it's
monthly.
going to be a monthly thing. I hope it's not, but we'll see. It was supposed to come out in October, but it's October, and I
I hope
haven't
it's an
seen anything
either
about
or
it.
thing, or you can add it on for a
Newsflash.
slightly
It's
less
November.
price.
Yeah, for real.
This, oh god, this, I'm kind of upset about that.
I am
Honestly.
too. Nathan, how far are you on Sabrina?
I think I only watched one other episode.
Okay.
I think I'm on episode 9's next.
We've watched 9, so we just have 10 left.
That's, yeah,
So,
I watched the one where Sabrina decides to resurrect
Yes, yeah.
her boyfriend's brother.
Yeah.
That was a good episode, actually.
It really
I really
was.
enjoyed it.
It really was. So we're on the one just directly after that.
Yeah.
We watched that this afternoon. We have one more left. I know we said this the last 3 weeks, I think, but I'm really digging this show. And the more and more I get into it, the more and more I'm appreciating it.
I've actually enjoyed it so much that I need to go back and watch the first 2 episodes again, just because I only half-heartedly watched those. I was kind of dicking around, and it wasn't until about episode 3, I started giving it my undivided attention.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice because I can kind of I think I missed a few little things, because of that.
It feels like it's jam packed with things.
It
like
is.
there's
So
a lot
much.
going on.
A lot of lore, a lot of story, and like I like how they're building out the world. With the backstory of the friends are now starting to come into play more. What's going on with them? So it's really well balanced. It's gonna suck because probably by next week I'll be done, and now it'll be another year.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I'm not looking forward to.
Because
have they said it will be another year, or is it? Because some of their seasons aren't a year. Some of them are like 6 months or so.
I'm sure with the production and everything they have on this one, this will be a year one probably.
Did they announce they're even usually by now they would announce if they're going to do a second season?
Yet that doesn't mean it hasn't been announced. I just haven't seen it.
But usually when Netflix, a show is doing really well, they're pretty quick with the announcement.
Well, and there were a lot of questions on this one. Like a lot of people were like, no, this isn't for me. And it's not for everyone, because a lot of people I think are going to go to this thinking it's the cutesy Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah. If you watch the trailer, you'll know it's not.
Well,
some people don't.
Don't watch that.
Some people just
they say,
the name and hit
Sabrina,
play.
I loved that. Let's watch it.
Some people use Internet Explorer still.
But if it loads up on Netflix, it's gonna start on the trailer first.
But it's definitely it's a show that I can see people just being turned off because of the subject matter without giving it a chance.
Yeah.
And it's definitely it's heavy.
I'm sure that's accounted for in the ratings too, in what they're expecting the show to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I think they probably were hoping for pretty broad expansion because you got to think Daredevil, Orange is the New Black. All those shows are rated M.
Yeah,
they're adult themed. I think with this, it's more the dark.
I think even Stranger Things is.
It's probably M on that one. And because that's definitely got pretty dark themes. The thing about this is that you're dealing with Satan, and so some people just aren't I think as willing to.
That's why I think they probably have taken that into account.
Yeah,
I don't know,
but
we'll see.
If you're not watching it, I think you're missing out. Really,
yeah, absolutely,
I'm missing out.
Absolutely,
missing out.
Yeah.
Missing out.
I know Mike would love this show.
I would love to watch it.
It's
I think Mike would dig this. Also, a few of us got together and we watched The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Yeah,
the new.
Oh yeah, we did do
Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, Fantastic Beast film that came out on Thursday.
What do you guys think?
I will say
You didn't see it yet?
I haven't either.
I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. I went for Allison. Allison loves Harry Potter, and she goes to so many
and large Wheaties.
Yes, and she goes to so many movies that I just want to see, or Marvel stuff or whatever, that I was like, okay, I'll go watch these with you. And they're very enjoyable for someone who's not super into the lore.
Yeah.
But sitting there, I know there is so much I'm missing out on. And I will say, for me, the casual viewer of Harry Potter films, it took me about halfway through the film to be like, okay, I think I got it. I know what's going on now. There's a lot of players in it. There's a lot of different different things going on.
And they're all either well known or they are, grandparents or parents or related to the Harry Potter series that takes place in the 90s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So stuff happens and it's like, oh, I should you're kind of expected to know who this person is. It is handled well enough that even though I didn't know, I could still watch and enjoy it, and then later ask, or I've read a few things, and I'm like, oh, what about this? And they're like, oh, yeah, that's so-and-so, and blah, 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 blah. So,
cool. What about you other two gentlemen? What'd you think?
I liked it a lot. I was lost a little bit, but like Ray said, there were a few characters that I know are significant to the Harry Potter mythos, not necessarily the story, but overall. And I have to do some research on who they are, but the movie was beautifully shot.
It really was.
All the just designs and little things, because it's a really big dive into, the wizarding world. The majority of it takes place, in, the magical side of cities, which you only saw in bits and pieces in Harry Potter. So it's really interesting to see, that world applied to, the everyday streets and whatnot, and especially that being with, the period of it being 1927.
Yeah.
It's just, overall, it's really cool. The characters' costumes are great. The acting was great. Johnny Depp was not over the top.
No, Johnny Depp wasn't normal Johnny Depp. He did a great job. I thought, who was the other one? Dumbledore.
Jude Law.
Fucking Jude Law.
Oh my god.
Jude Law did a great job as Dumbledore.
He was fantastic.
Because I told Allison, like, I've seen the movies, I haven't read the books, so I'm not like super married to this idea of what Dumbledore is. But I felt like he portrayed a good character, whether it was Dumbledore or not. And she seemed to be really happy with, the way he portrayed it as well, because you're kind of getting this a little bit more of this like flawed person, a very like Gandalf style wizard. Like he's very powerful and still very flawed, which is really cool.
He's not perfect.
Well, he seemed that way in the other movies.
That's what I'm saying. It's expanding out
Harry Potter
on that.
movies. Yeah.
So. Also, I would say that special effects wise, with this being a WB film, I don't understand how the special effects can be so good in this and so bad in some of the DC films, because it's the same overall.
Look at the amount
company.
Of money that J.K. Rowling has made for that company. They're going to throw down money and make sure it looks right.
Well, more than that, she has a lot of control over.
No, absolutely.
Oh, I know,
but I'm saying for quality control. So you take like Batman Justice League, like that is 100% executive level ran.
Yeah.
They're going to push it out, and they're going to care more about a deadline. While someone like J.K. Rowling, who owns,
has a lot of control.
I mean, she controls that stuff completely. Like without her, they're not allowed to do it.
Yeah, but I'm saying she makes them a lot of money, so they're going to dump the money into it to make sure it looks right.
Yeah, and that also comes back to there's not been a ton of reshoots on this. There's not been a total change in the kind of film's direction.
On your CGI because they don't have as much time in post.
I think you hit the nail on the head with J.K. Rowling's having. There's one central person that has a complete vision of what this should be, and I don't think there is that with some of these other things.
There's not at Warner Brothers,
because you also see that with the Marvel stuff. You've got Kevin Feige, and.
Because I would say, because even like Black Panther, the CGI was pretty wonky in areas.
That's true. That's true.
And I think a lot of it comes with like those movies. Like I said, they push it to the max. Like they're shooting so close to like the release date. The post production doesn't get as much time with I think some of these other franchises which don't have. I mean, I guess this is a pretty big one. I'm not trying to take away from it, but. I definitely know what you mean because I rewatched the first Fantastic Beasts and the CGI on that one's really, really good.
Yeah, I just rewatched it today.
It's at least as good as that one. It might be better. There was some really good stuff, and there was never a point where it's like, oh, this CGI is a little weird. It's taking me out. Like everything looked real good.
Yeah.
So that was just an interesting thing that I thought took away from that is like this is a WB movie that is incredible CGI wise. Why can't they do this with some of their other stuff?
Yeah. So just a quick question. So this is the second movie.
Yes, sir.
And 5. Do you think there's enough story here to carry it through to the rest of the 5?
I think there absolutely is. I don't know if all the plot lines that we have now are
going to exist the entire series.
I don't know if they're going to try to stretch all of that out for 5 movies. But again, we have someone who has a vision of what she wants to do, and she's creating this stuff, and she's done a good job so far. So I definitely trust her to. If they're going to do 5, do 5. I mean, go for it.
I mean,
you did
the plan is
8 of the last. Well,
it was 8 movies, but it was 7 books. But I
think proves the point more is he split one book into 2 movies.
Yeah, I don't think
Peter Jackson did that.
Yeah,
I mean, he split one book into 3 movies.
He spread that butter on that bread thin.
Even if it's 5, I don't think Grindelwald will be there at the very end. Or no, he will have to be because I think isn't the timeline established? It'll be once this is done, it'll be Voldemort's birth.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
So 3 more movies.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
I think
for the ride.
I think it's a little early to to say yes or no to that question.
Okay.
Though.
But I think it's going to get a little darker before it gets any brighter.
Which is kind of curious because usually, movies like sometimes the sequel, the second one, can tend to be the worst. I think on a lot of franchises.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's really good news to hear that it's a strong sequel.
Oh, I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah, I don't know if it's better than the other one. I only watched it the one time when it first came out. So, but I do think it's at least on par. So, also today I went to Jacksonville to go to the North Florida Collectors Club Toy Game and Comic Convention. It's kind of a
that must have been the biggest flyer ever. Were you like driving down the road to read the entire thing?
They use like 0.3 font to get all that.
You figure out what it is by the time you get there.
Where was that?
I'm at the right place.
Awesome Toys.
No, it's some of the guys that that do Awesome Toys, but it was at the convention center, the same one we went to that we sold stuff at TJ. A couple of months back. It was a very big. There was a lot of toys there.
Yeah.
It was a big toy. It was a bunch of the toy guys. There was some comic book stuff, and I picked up 2 short boxes for like $20.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good pickup.
Yeah. The guy was like, "Oh, I'll make you a deal on it." And I'm like, "Well, how much is your deal? Tell me about this deal." And he told me, and I said, "Well, let me make a counter deal." So I walked away with 2 short boxes of newer comics. It's a lot of Rebirth stuff and everything.
From now on, when we go to like a comic thing with Ray Mike, we just need to find what we want and then have Ray go out there and do our bidding.
Yeah. I got this for free. Like, what?
Thanks.
But it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of there were a couple of guys that had like a bunch of G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Okay. So there'd be a booth with like a U.S. flag that they were selling. There were a couple of guys with a bunch of old Star Wars toys.
What's the price tag on that flag?
I didn't even ask. I was not even going to ask.
I love asking just to hear the answer on it.
Yeah. If I had been a little more interested, it's not anything I know anything about, so I don't even know what like those go for. I don't know if he said $100. If I'm like, whoa, that's a fucking lot.
If they had said $100,
it was $100.
I would have bought that. I don't give a shit about G.I. Joes.
I don't know if that's
it's a 6-foot fucking G.I. Joe aircraft
but I'm saying,
carrier.
I don't know if it's $100 thing, $1,000 thing, or more than that.
It's at least $1,000.
Yeah, I think it's running now about $3,000 to $5,000 complete.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was there. It was not put together. It was all in pieces, so you could take it.
What an expensive pussy deflector.
Whatever. I'd fuck on top of that thing.
Christy, I moved the bed out.
An aircraft carrier. You just put a mattress on top of it.
There were a lot of. I actually saw there were some people. Man, there was a couple of people that had some things like the Y-wing and a TIE fighter and stuff like that. The Legos, and they were open but complete for like $15. And I'm like, man, if that's still here, I might pick that up.
Man.
And I walked around once because I got there early and that stuff was gone. The only ones that were left were the $70 unopened ones. But
shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I got 3.
But it was a lot of fun. Those little shows like that, and because it's just in a convention hall, in a tiny convention hall in a hotel in a Ramada Inn over there. So that's one of those shows that I just really like to go to. Because I went a couple of weeks ago to the Tallahassee one, and that was a lot of fun too. So these are the kind of things I like to go to. I picked up a couple of older X-Men comics because I'm trying to get my 200 1 to 200. Yeah, right. But pre-200 stuff, so I got a couple of fillers from that.
Nice.
So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, if I'd had more money, I'd have went with you, but I'm just broke right now. So.
No, I hear you.
Is that it?
That's it for me.
All right, Chuck.
Well,
I've been walking to work for a week now.
I nerded out on these flippy flops I bought and got the best cushion I could have ever asked for.
My feet are callous now. I don't even need shoes.
I can walk across fire without even wincing.
In the snow, I'm just going to hammer tack nails into my feet to get the traction on the ice.
Worst thing is that the top of my penis is so callous because I drag it with me.
I went to work and I cut out these T-bones and tied them to my feet. Now I walk them to work in it.
Hopefully at Christmas the boys will be able to take this here C-rated knife and cut off my calluses on my feet so I can feel the ground again.
I'm just going to go home to my ditch and lay down.
It's so cold outside that I just shoveled out a hole in a baked potato to keep my Peter warm on the way home.
I'm just going to hold this wrestling DVD and pretend I'm watching it.
I use all the extra fat from the meat to cook and sizzle for warmth. Anyway, Mike, what's your nerd on?
Oh, hey, Chuck.
Chuck, welcome back. Mike was
Is that a potato in your pocket, or are you just happy to see us?
That's my dick ready for you.
Awkward comeback.
Burn.
That's gone.
Now we all know Chuck has a potato dick. All right, Mike.
Smaller nut.
Spud.
Spudly Garrett.
Well, it's weird, people say potatoes have eyes. This one has an eye.
Someone has apparently taken his neck man identity from him. So
Yeah, no shit.
He's a grower, not a shower.
He's just full of all the spuds. Anyway, Mike, what have you been nerd on?
Penis. It's been a slow week. Finally collected all my shit in Spider-Man, but we've talked about Spider-Man a million times.
But it's still good.
I will say the Last Stand suit, the motorcycle jacket with the jeans, pretty damn cool and very 90s, although I think they said it came out in 2003.
Yeah, I think so.
If you guys haven't gotten a clue yet, it's a really good game.
yes,
And I'm getting to the point to where I am murdering the combat system. It's just I'm so powerful. I've got 3 superior levels past 50. But other than that, the story's awesome. It's about to get real fucking crazy. Just found out about Osborn's experiments, so
Nice.
interesting story.
yeah.
Been switching over to sci-fi from audiobooks. I am reading some more Richard Fox from the Ember War universe. Chuck will have to open that beer for you.
Shit, is mad about it.
God damn it, I gotta be nice.
Gotta move that potato out of the way to get my thing out of my pocket.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying that. But that's really about it. Mr. Chuck?
Well, besides Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, been binging the shit out of Great British Baking Show Season 6, man. Still.
I haven't started on that one yet.
Allison watches a lot of that. She'll throw it on, and I haven't been following this season.
It's so good. Still, I think everybody's. I'm used to everybody now with Prue being there. Mary Berry's not there after the last season, and the 2 other side judges, Noel and Sandy. I'm used to them now, but I think it's so far probably one of the weaker seasons. Really, one of the weaker seasons I've seen from just the other 5. Like everyone, like what they're doing. I don't know. This one seems like it's a little bit more TV, like reality. It's like it doesn't seem not as bad, but it's like there's one guy on there. He's constantly like, "Oh no, they're not gonna like it. Oh no," and like they're constantly like shaking his hand, like, "Oh, this is amazing. It's the best ever." And I'm like,
"Oh, it's like that one girl that one season."
Kind of, but no, it's like
she was horrible.
This one guy, it's bad.
Ruby, I think her name was. She was horrible.
There's another Ruby in this season. Yeah. Oh, I know who you're talking about. No, this guy's even worse.
Oh,
he
Jesus.
just acts so like down on himself all the time.
His name is Emerald Lagasse.
They have the beginnings on there. They have some seasons that took place before that group that's on there.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Ruby, I know who you're talking about on that one, but yeah, there's a guy that's exactly the same way, except he's worse.
Well, they have, instead of watching the current ones, they have some of the past ones that were before
the first season they put out?
Yeah, it's before the first season that they put on the original set of episodes. It's called The Beginnings. And so you can go back and watch some of those older seasons. And
I'll do that because I really enjoy that show. Because, I mean, Nathan had talked about it for a long time. It's just a good show to watch.
Yeah.
But other than that, just looking for parts for my truck so I don't have to walk anymore.
I recommend
only someone had a truck that you could get parts off of it to help yourself out. If only
somebody had a
Ranger.
Someone else.
A different engine, though. It is a different engine you have.
There's a whole engine you could probably pull out of that truck and put in that one.
I've never pulled the whole engine out.
Well, it's
time
to try.
Right?
Is the starter going to matter?
No, it's not standard.
I thought it was a standard.
No.
To YouTube,
Oh.
you can disconnect the transmission from the motor.
Anyway,
That's pretty much what I've done.
so what I've been doing this week, gentlemen, is I've been showing my superior intellect by getting every answer wrong on Jeopardy.
Good job.
Yeah. I like to show off, and
I don't think I'm surprised by that.
I answer the question, and I mute the TV, and I go, "Yeah, I was right." Yeah.
How in the negative would you be on Jeopardy now?
Well,
Would've kicked him
here's
off.
the thing: I would always do a true daily double, so I'd probably always be broke. I saw.
You can't bet twice negative.
Yeah. I saw a meme, and it really just summed up me. It's like, oh, Jeopardy's on Netflix. That's stupid. No one's gonna watch it. Me 5 hours later, like, I like to make it a true daily double, bitch. Like, because you get in and like you get so into the show, and like if someone doesn't do a true daily double, I'm just like pussy. Like, even though like I have no idea what the answer is, or
So it's like curling on the Winter Olympics.
pretty much.
What is a true daily double?
So
Where you bet everything,
Yeah,
Chuck.
yeah.
You bet the farm.
Okay.
yeah, or if like let's say you just started, you pull a daily double, you got $200. Well, you can max out to 1,000. That's when you're going for real.
Man up.
It's one of those shows that I put it on, and every time I'm like, I'll probably do something else. I just get sucked into the because every once in a while you do know if you have answers, and it always feels good. It's one of those shows I definitely like to watch with TJ and Katie, because they're pretty good trivia people, and see how they rank up.
Not well.
Probably more Katie than TJ. But.
Yeah.
And also Alex is kind of an asshole, so I always enjoy that, because he
is.
It's pretty amazing. I relate with that. I watched basketball.
Nice.
Yes.
What? For the first time or in a while?
For the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
The movie actually has aged pretty well for being a comedy that it is. Because, God, it came out during the first season of South Park, so that would have been
1997.
Yeah, that's pre-2000.
It would have been that. I would
96.
have been in 7th
96.
grade, I think.
Can't believe that show's been on 22 years.
Yeah. And it's the
Almost as old
comedy
as my truck.
still pretty good. It's definitely a corny, lower budget comedy, but the jokes are there. And Matt and Trey Parker, I'm actually surprised they didn't do more comedy movies, because they're not bad.
No, Team America was amazing what they did.
Well, I guess more mean them acting, as they're great voice actors, but I'm surprised that that's the only thing they ever done. And I was reading IMDb, and apparently they signed up for this movie because the first season of South Park was coming out, and they're like, it's going to get canceled. Let's do as much as we can. And so they signed up for the movie, and South Park season 1 came out and fucking was, a hit.
It blew up.
And so they had to shoot the basketball movie and do season 2 of South Park at the same time.
Yeah.
So they're like burning from both ends, like going and writing, drawing, and do all the show while they're shooting that
they
movie.
basically work 6 long weeks a year.
Yeah. Well, they do now, but like that time,
Then they
I
had to
would
hand
love
draw
it.
everything.
Yeah. Back then, because you got to think, while shooting a movie.
No. Well, they did the hand draw on the construction paper, and then they put everything was animated with the construction
everything,
paper.
right?
Because now they just use high-end Max.
Yeah.
And they can do it. What's that name of that documentary? It's
7 Days to Air, I think it is.
If you've never watched it, that's a great one about South Park, just in like how they literally do every episode the week of, and they're doing it right there to the hour.
It's about to air.
Pretty impressive. And I fucking balls of steel on those guys. You can't. They're doing so much cocaine. Is all I can think to get through that, just to stay focused. But they also did Orgasmo. I always forget about Orgasmo.
I love Orgasmo.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Great story. Great villains. Jizzmaster Zero.
Stunt cock. But Ray, I don't. Have you ever seen basketball? You just seen like
I have not.
Yeah, I fucking knew it.
Where'd you watch it at?
It's
Amazon Prime?
on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's on
Ray,
Netflix.
while you're editing the podcast.
Well, because I know you like South Park.
Yeah,
I do.
you'll like
Yeah.
basketball. What's it about again?
It's about two
It's been forever.
losers
About sports.
that make up their own sport called basketball.
Yeah.
If I've never watched Rudy, what makes you think I would watch
Well,
basketball?
this is
This is a good movie.
This is like
This is a
Rudy mixed
comedy.
with South Park.
Yes.
Also, I always thought that they wrote Basketball. I didn't realize that they were just actors in it.
They didn't write it?
No, they did not write it. It was written and directed by someone else. Yeah, Basketball was they were signed on as actors. The only thing that they added was, I guess, the movie was more focused on just them two, and they came up with the bitch part as the third character. So that was like their input. But
that's one of my favorite parts of
I gotta watch this movie again.
Your mom slept with Squeak.
Yeah, he's like, why? I'm not sleeping with his mom's like, no, we gotta say really fucked up shit to psych him out. Oh, wait, why is me dating his sister really fucked up shit?
The guy that directed it, directed Airplane and
he was a
Holy shit.
Naked Gun, 2.5, and the first one.
Well, because it hit that level of, you can kind of tell like the way it's shot matches up with those.
But
other
he also
styles.
did Scary Movie 3, 4, and 5. So.
Scary Movie 3 is so good. It is the only good one.
I never
4 and
watched
5
it.
aren't good.
Which one's 3?
3 is the one with the first Charlie Sheen one where they do the signs
that
on.
was
and
actually
Leslie
pretty
Nielsen's
good.
the president.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good.
I had stopped watching them after the second one.
They jumped the shark.
Yeah. And then the last thing on my nerd on is a sad tale, and it's kind of a nerd confession. So you guys are going to judge me, but I'll take it.
You're a brony now?
I wish I had some sad piano music.
Actually, I wish it was like a sad like whistling and guitar because it has to do with Red Dead Redemption. So
Your copy broke?
light a fire and let me tell you the story.
Christy started playing your life.
She started playing my no, not that bad. So I was playing Red Dead about 2 weeks ago, and I came across the cheat codes, and I was like, you know what? I want to play with some cheat codes and have a little fun.
Never.
And the game was just so fun on the cheat codes that I kept playing, and I started doing missions. And I was like, you know what? I'll just keep the game paused, and that way I won't turn off the PlayStation. And I was so far into this game, they was past the point of no return. And every time I come back, I could like turn off the TV and say everything was fine. And then I was playing one day, and the power went out.
So you got to do it all over again.
And I came back, and I'm so far back in the story that I have not touched Red Dead. It makes me sick to my stomach.
I hate that
don't
in
use
the game.
cheat codes and just play it.
I didn't come for your judging.
I did the same thing.
Well, I'm
Final
just saying.
Fantasy VIII. I got to the beginning of disc 4 on Final Fantasy VIII, and my memory card was corrupted. And I just took that. I just took the disc out of the PlayStation and didn't play it ever again.
Never touched
7,
it
8,
again.
and 9. I have the same story. I can't play again because I lost my memory card for it.
Yeah,
I'll never
just-
touch those 3.
I don't know how it
I
is.
think it
I
was
played 7 like 4 or 5 times. 8 was so tedious with that draw system that they had on it.
Yeah.
9
You had to
was
draw all the spells off of the in card form. Oh my god, I can relate.
even on the world map.
Yeah, it was quite heartbreaking. And it just goes to show you, kids, it doesn't pay to cheat.
No.
I mean, up till then, it was paying really well.
Well, you just
And
need to
I
play
was-
the game faster.
I was and that's kind of my thing. I don't have time like a lot
Just
of
put
these
it on
kids.
2x.
Yeah.
Just 2 times as fast.
Play even faster. So I think what I'm going to do is do it all over again. Put Cheetos back in and see how much farther I can get. And I'm just going to buy a generator and hook it up to my PlayStation.
Are you not allowed to save with the cheat
well,
codes?
You can't. You
Once
can't
you
with
put the
that.
code in, it disables
Which is
saves.
funny 'cause, like-
Rockstar does it to keep you from.
I'm pretty sure on Grand Theft Auto because
No.
okay.
As soon as you put a code in, it's
Because I've always done
it
this with
negates
Grand Theft Auto.
From 4 or longer, they won't.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I
save
put
your
in the cheat
progress.
codes to play it because I don't want a challenge. I just want to fucking be a god that destroys everything.
we'll do that after you beat the game.
And no, fuck that. I want to do it from the. That's why I play video games. I don't come to a video game to struggle. All right, I do that every day in my life.
Did you put a cheat code in for Spider-Man?
No, but if there was cheat
I don't
codes, I
think
would
there
have
are
fucking
any,
put
are
them in.
Exactly. Well, you got through that one, big boy.
Chuck, you're so fucking stupid sometimes
Yes.
with your arguments. Like, I come to fucking play and just destroy. I want to be the god of this. I don't want to challenge. I know, like, people like Mike play it on hard, and that's their thing. I just want to go in
Or
and
there's
have.
no dick, which
I
is
wanna-
actually pretty easy.
I want to have. I want to be able to shoot my gun, and bullets never run out.
I don't want to even aim. I just want to shoot my gun.
I just want to watch people
Shoot your
die.
guns like in real life and affect things on the screen.
Because like lately,
I go through TVs so quickly.
like Jack Nicholson and Batman as Joker.
This
Just
town needs an enema.
Well, because my favorite thing is now is like the run up and lasso people and take them to the train station and throw them in front of the train.
Yes.
How many dogs have you killed in the game?
No, I don't kill
All
the
of
dogs.
them.
I kill tons of people, man. It's the idea of Rockstar Games is you can be the most evil person you want, and that's what I
Just shoot people in the dick then. Kill them
yeah, I
that
can
way.
do that too.
I couldn't do. I'm
Like RoboCop.
couldn't do
Yeah,
that too much in the
RoboCop.
first Red Dead because the way they'd written the character. But in GTA 4 and 5, though, man, I was an asshole.
Yeah. I'm there to cause some trouble.
Paying prostitutes and murder them to get the money back. and then
your phone bill's too high, huh?
grandma walking down the street.
Pretty much.
Let's see how she like a baseball bat.
But that's my nerd on. TJ, round us out.
Well, I've only got like one or two things. Watched a movie I hadn't watched in 20 years this week.
Basketball.
No. Empire Records, actually.
Great
what
movie.
a fantastic
Yeah,
movie.
I'd
Such a
I
90s
forgot
movie.
how much I like that movie.
Yeah, it's a
And
great movie.
Come be a more and more.
Never seen it.
It's on Netflix. It's a
yeah,
good
it's
one.
on. It's a lot of
It's a
fun.
good 90s
It's
film.
quintessential. It's a 90s film through and through.
Well, it's got
Yeah.
Liv Tyler in it, so there you go.
And she was
Anthony
so
LaPaglia?
beautiful in that movie.
Yeah. And Renee Zellweger.
Yeah, Renee.
Yeah, she is like 4.
There's like a spectrum that you have, like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Wayne's World, and then over here I think you have Empire Records, where this one, Bill and Ted on the far right, is like kind of out of control. Wayne's World's a little there in the middle, and then Empire Records is
It's
pretty normal. It's not like
Yeah,
it's
to me,
not
it's
real,
not
real
crazy.
funny.
I would
Empire
put,
Records.
I would put it
Dazed and
alongside
Confused.
Dazed and Confused.
Yeah,
exactly.
coming of
It's
age.
yeah, it's
Just never seen
it's a lot of 90s music that you almost
Yeah.
forgot about, and it's like, oh, yeah.
This is the premise, Chuck. It's very simple. They work at a record store
Yeah.
that's about to essentially be sold off.
Yeah.
And one of the
By the-
employees takes the night deposit, goes to Vegas, or not Vegas,
Atlantic City.
Atlantic City, bets it all, loses it.
Ooh.
And so essentially the general manager of the store, that's pretty much a stepson, and so he's trying to protect him. And this is all it takes. It's a 1 day, from the shift from they open to when they close.
like Clerks.
Yeah,
I was
I
gonna
love
say
Warren.
it's like Clerks Light,
It
also
is.
like something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I love Warren in it.
Yeah, Warren's
Warren's amazing.
I'll watch it.
No,
And,
watch it. You'll love
Rex Manning. I just love Rex Manning. He's such
Rex
a
Manning
slimy
Day.
piece of shit.
He's Rex Manning.
Yeah.
And Ethan Embry, of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
What did he play? I'm sorry, I don't recognize the
Ethan
guy.
Embry, he was Rusty
Can't-
from Vegas Vacation.
Yeah.
And can't
okay.
hardly wait.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. And then the other thing is She-Ra popped up on Netflix on Thursday. So, being sick in bed, I was like, well, I'll watch a few episodes of it. And I mentioned it. I knew as soon as it came out of my mouth, I made a mistake.
Katie.
I
want to watch that.
Yep. So, I did manage to watch like 3 episodes of it, though.
Are they like 15 minutes each?
No, they're
20, 30
20
minutes.
to 30
Okay.
minutes.
Like the Voltron.
Yeah, they're
Has it taken you the last 6 months?
no, it's like 3 days. So, it's very fun.
Watched it at 8 a.m.?
We watched them earlier in the day.
Okay,
Yes.
so I figured.
Crack of dawn.
Yeah. But it was it's a lot of fun. It feels a lot like the older episodes updated. You know, there's a moral to the story that's going on. They don't come out at the end of it and say, "No,
Yeah,
what
they
did we
don't have
learn
the
today?"
PSAs
and
at
all
the
that.
end.
Yeah.
Don't let her.
But you still get those. No, they don't stick with like Glimmer. She doesn't have like a traditional female body type for a cartoon, which is really nice. They've got different ethnicities and body types and stuff like that going on.
I don't think I ever remember seeing the original cartoon.
I never watched
That's
the
fine. I mean,
original.
No, I don't think I have.
it
but-
wasn't marketed to boys back in the day. So, and then
Play with sissy dolls. She-Ra.
I mean, I have
Exactly.
some of the figures.
oh, you had to because it's He-Man's sister.
Mantenna.
They haven't brought up He-Man at all, but they have brought up Eternia a couple times, and the sorceress kind of looks like. They haven't brought up the sorceress, but they have a character that looks like her. That's a hologram of one of the first ones they call it, which is an ancient technology that they run across. And there's some hints that She-Ra is kind of a legend that's passed along and whatever. Kind of like He-Man was back in the older story. So it's a lot of fun. It's a nice update, and the anime style takes a little getting used to. But
have they is the main the
Hordak
and the Horde still?
Yeah, Hordak and the Horde. I've seen Grizzlor. I think it was Grizzlor, and I believe Leech has been on screen. Catra's on there. Hordak, Shadow Weaver. You see all of those people on there.
Nice.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, is that it?
That's it for our nerd-ons.
Time to get the Ray with the news.
No. We have a new segment coming up.
Oh, crap.
1 second.
Literally.
Nerd Turd. It's time for Nerd Turd. Time for the Nerd Turd. It's time for the Nerd Turd. It's time for the Nerd Turd. Nerd Turd.
All right, guys. This is
If Nate had hair on the top of his head to be flipped up as high as he could get it in a flock of seagulls.
Guys, this is a new segment that we are going to be having each week. This is the Nerd Turd of the week.
Nerd Turd, yep.
And just for future, it won't be as long of an intro. That was me messing around with soundscapes and like sound effects. And
That sounded like the longest pee from Adam Sandler. Oh, God!
And Chuck still doesn't understand what happened, and that makes it even better.
Yeah.
So, Nerd Turd, we were talking about, almost weekly there's stuff that comes out that you're so excited for, has been hyped up, and it just turns out to be shit. Just crap. You hate it.
Yep.
It's not as good as it was, doesn't live up, and people are just upset, and we dub it Nerd Turd.
The Nerd Turd.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And this week, none of us have played it, but there sure is a lot of stuff going around online. It's Fallout 76.
I'll be honest, I'm a huge fan of Fallout. Not as huge as some people. I played 3 and 4, and I played 3. I played the shit
3
out.
for like 4 years.
Yeah, I played the shit out of 3. And so when I found out there was a new Fallout coming out, of course,
New Vegas?
No, I didn't play New Vegas.
Oh, you'd have loved New Vegas.
I was still playing 3. I hadn't fleshed out all of 3 yet. I played a little bit of New Vegas, but not much. But when I heard there was a new Fallout, I was like, okay, awesome. That's kind of weird because 4 hasn't been out incredibly long. And then they announced like what it was, and I wasn't as excited anymore. And actually, honestly, I didn't even realize it was coming out this week until this week when people kept talking about download times and stuff like that. I just hadn't been keeping up with it, but I haven't heard a whole lot of good about it.
I prior to coming here tonight, after we kind of talked, because Ray had mentioned, he's like, well, I think it's just a lot of hot air. I'm seeing online people were just kind of getting on the bandwagon, hating on it, and I was like, that's a good point. So I went and tried to. I was like googling, is Fallout 76 good? Trying to find something to pop up of good reviews.
Yeah,
I couldn't find one.
Yeah,
from everything from reviews online to people on Reddit to Facebook, people are just saying this is a big pile of shit.
I only think I know 3 people maybe that I know that even bought it.
Yeah, because as soon as I heard it was going to be online only, I opted out. That's just not interesting.
Half of my thing with Fallout is the solitude of it, and like you're just by yourself in this wasteland And that's like the thing. It's not a let's be buddies and build a house next to each other and go fight monsters game.
I think it being kind of a massive multiplayer kind of takes away from it.
Yeah,
I think
that's what I think.
If it had been a 2 to 4 person co-op,
like a party,
thing,
like a 2-4 party.
yeah,
like Destiny or something.
yeah, I think that could be fun.
Yeah.
And then, but the way it's set up is you have to count on other people playing the game the way you are playing it. So if you want to do trading and stuff like that, you got to count on other people trading with you and things like that.
And that's not going to happen all the time.
Yeah, and I don't count on, especially in a Fortnite type generation of game players out there. And my son, he saved up his birthday money and everything else, bought this on release day and everything, which I'm kind of proud of him for. It's his first game that he's saved up and bought himself.
What a fucking mistake.
Hey.
But
You should have guided him.
lesson.
But as a 13-year-old,
Yeah, is he like
I think this is right up his alley.
for him.
To it.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like, whoa, the stuff that I've seen on it, again, almost everything I've seen has been not firsthand. It's like I've heard or blah, blah, blah. So-and-so
reviews,
said.
a lot of bad reviews.
Yeah.
And people gameplay is very glitchy is what I'm reading.
Well, that's Bethesda.
Yeah.
So,
But
they're
yeah,
using
being
the
glitchy.
same Fallout 4 engine, so it's a dated engine.
yeah, the graphics don't look great, which I wasn't expecting from an MMO anyway, and especially not Bethesda.
Well, that's what I was. What it feels like is that this is just a Fallout skinned MMO. It's like it sounds very generic with just a Fallout skin over the top of it.
Yeah, I'm sorry for cutting you off, Mike. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I mean, that pretty much made my point.
Yeah.
Now, Mike, if you had a better internet connection, would you have picked this up?
Probably not. I don't know, I was playing Fallout 4, and I got to the point where I had to craft my own, start crafting for my city, and
that's where I stopped, too.
it just didn't really interest me.
It seems like it's too much.
And it seems like it's compulsory. You can't not do it. So, I don't know. I moved on to other things. So, I would say until Fallout comes out with a single-player type game, I'll more than likely be interested now. But considering all that's out there, as far as multiplayer goes,
there's so much better.
Yeah, I would be playing something else.
I mean,
I'd probably play Call of Duty or something. Get my ass.
I don't want to
whooped in
rely
that game.
on other people for my gaming experience.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I don't mind multiplayer games, but I don't like multiplayer cooperation, especially. It just doesn't seem to work very well.
To me, though, when the general consensus from everyone is that a game's shit, it's probably going to be shit. I wouldn't buy this game now. I wasn't very interested, in honesty, before because of the whole setup of being online only. But historically, if everyone's crapping on a game, it's probably gonna suck.
There's
No Man's Sky.
So much better that's out there right now.
Well, especially with it releasing so close to Red Dead.
Yeah,
that's
and
another
all
thing.
the good that we've heard about Red Dead. There's no way I would get this over that.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting. There's been a definite trend of fans turning against really big companies. Blizzard with the handheld Diablo, the mobile Diablo. This game with Bethesda, and another one that I just read about today, Artifact by Valve. They had just announced it. It's going to be, I think, a mobile card game from what I read. But it's set up like a free-to-play game.
Yeah.
I think it's just it started with the Star Wars EA Battlefield
Battlefront 2.
They started from there. I think we're getting to a point where gamers are tired of essentially being taken advantage of and having these franchises they love put out and just
shit
giant
quality.
Marketing ploy to make more money. This the pay to play, you got to pay for all the upgrades and all the extras.
Yeah.
And we're finally getting where people are slowly unifying more, where before people would bitch but they still buy and play the game. And if you do that, the company's going to keep fucking you over. Yeah. And the only way you can really express it is with your wallet and not support these type of games when they come out. Yeah. Because the second you buy it, they don't care anymore. They've got your money.
Because it seems like Fallout 76 would have been a better, like, a huge DLC update or a game update instead of a regular game. Because if they haven't overhauled the engine or anything,
That's
they just
pretty good.
added the fact that it's online and it's Fortnite.
There's still a lot of work they're doing on it. And I'm not discounting at all what these guys do because they're working a lot of hours and they're doing and it sounds like there's not a lot of work.
I get that, but because like you said, because like I've never played the game. I'm not big into Fallout, but with you saying how the graphics and the engine is dated 5 years, like Fallout 4, then I would be pissed even if I was like you being Josh's dad. He just spent his money on this. I'm like, I bought this game already. The only difference is you play online now with it.
Yeah,
there's still a lot that goes on with it. Yeah. So I get what they're doing. Mm-hmm. I understand making mobile games and stuff like that because honestly, that's where the money's at. And and as a developer, you can't stay in business if you're not making money. So I get why they're doing these other types of things and why they're trying to figure. And I'm glad the pendulum's kind of going back to the middle on this, where okay, we can't just charge for every nickel and dime everybody for every little thing, and coming back a little bit towards the middle where it's like, okay, here's a base game. There's a ton of content here, but if you want extra, here's a little bit extra. Yeah. Here's a season pass for $20. I think the average right now for a season pass is almost $50.
But that sucks. That's $80 to $110.
Yeah, you're paying $110 for a game.
Yeah.
But still,
pisses me off though.
Still, Super Nintendo games were around $80 back when they were coming out.
True.
People forget that Sony, when they came out with the PlayStation,
but those were complete fucking games at the time when you got
not
them.
all the time. They weren't always
Super Nintendo
complete.
ones?
No, sometimes you just got shit in a box, and that's what you got.
Yeah, they had a game library.
They couldn't go back and fix it.
Yeah,
like
you
they
can't
can
go back
now.
and tweak it now. And with the marketing schedules and everything else, these things have to come out when they're scheduled to come out. Not everybody gets that extra time like they do on like a Final Fantasy or Legend of Zelda or Kingdom Hearts, for God's sake.
Well,
Hearts, yeah.
Well, that was our nerd turd.
Exactly.
Let's go on to some news.
Monday morning, listen to my podcast. Always trying to save the best for last. Hey, there's Ray. The big bag of news. Big old bag of news. He knows what time it is. It's Ray with the news. Here we go. Ray with the news. Ray with the news. Marvel, DC, Star Wars is Ray with the news. Sometimes video game news, as long as you stay on his ass. But here he stands, Ray with the news. Ray, give us the news.
All right, guys, I'm going to give you the news.
Give us the news.
Nathan, that was great.
That one
It showed his keyboard skills.
Right up my alley. Finally, a good song.
All right, so normally I end out our news segment when we have people that passed away.
Oh, you're starting off with this?
Yeah, I don't feel like you can. Most everyone that listens to this podcast knows that Stan Lee passed away this week on Monday. It was Memorial Day. I was at home, and one of my apps just popped up a thing.
Veterans Day. Yeah, Veterans Day.
Oh, sorry.
I was driving home from
Veterans
work.
Day. It just popped up and was like, Stan Lee dies at 95, and it honestly absolutely ruined the rest of my day, because I just, for 2 solid days, I would scroll through my Facebook stuff and it was nothing but people talking about what Stan Lee meant to them.
I was already having a shitty day.
Yeah.
I was having to leave work early because Katie had blown up the radiator on the car. And so I'm driving home, and then that popped up. I'm like, no, that's got to be bullshit.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's like,
that's exactly what I thought at first. I was like, oh, this is some dumb thing. But the app it came up on was not an app that would put something stupid up on.
Yeah.
So I was like,
review.
MarvelNews.com.
I almost pulled over. I was like, man, this sucks.
yeah. And I know it seems like sort of ridiculous. Someone that like you don't really know that created this whatever, this world or whatnot.
Oh man,
and it being that kind of emotional attachment to someone like that. But I literally remember I remember wearing my Spider-Man Underoos set. If y'all remember those, it was just the little Spider-Man whitey tidies with Spider-Man on it and a T-shirt.
I don't remember you wearing them, but
pulled them out and put it back on.
I remember wearing those and watching Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
A young 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Ray, you're 30.
Wouldn't you be worried about cutting the circulation off?
You have a wife.
Is that why you don't have kids?
But so
want to enjoy our retirement.
So I remember being like at such a young age, and Stan Lee would narrate those, and I that far back, being like 6-7 years old, I knew who Stan Lee was, and he hasn't always been in the public eye since then, but definitely over the last few years, with all his cameos and all the different movies and everything, he really has been. And I grew up on Spider-Man. When I became a teenager, I got more into X-Men and stuff like that. So he's, as dumb as it sounds, I feel like he, as any pop icon,
cultural icon,
has molded the things that I love and my likes and my what I appreciate throughout my life. So it's definitely it's a big hit on the creative community and everything, the pop culture community, the nerd community. I remember being really sad when Carrie Fisher died, but it's still not the same. Like Stan Lee.
He's a completely different level.
Yeah, it was a lot more. And I can't think of anyone else that like is on that tier for me.
I can think of two people that would really upset me.
Tim Allen.
When that are really going to upset me when I hear that they pass away.
Mm-hmm.
And
The Rock.
No, Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford.
See,
yeah,
I'm going to be sad when Bill Shatner goes.
And Shatner.
Yeah. Those are going to be really, really sad, but those are not. Maybe like if Keith Richards ever dies, because the Stones were one of my huge musical influences. But yeah, I don't think there's anyone.
You're just going to find
probably Peter Cullen. I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry when Peter Cullen dies.
Cullen not only is the voice of Optimus for you, but the voice of the '80s for so long. All the voices that he had done. So I can get you on that one.
Yeah.
So. Anyone else have anything they want to say about Stan?
95 years old, man. He had a good life.
He had a great run.
Yeah. What a wild ride, man.
If you get a chance, I showed Ray and the guys the video. The New York Times does this really cool thing where they interview older people that are probably getting close to death, and they essentially have them do their own obituary, and they kind of sum up their life. And Stan Lee did his, and it's just really good. It's about 5 minutes long.
The ending was great.
And
it was nothing I haven't heard him say before, but it's still like,
to me the biggest impact was they're like, what do you want people to remember when you're gone? He's like,
he kind of laughs and says
stories.
He wrote good stories.
Yeah. He's honestly
like, I don't care.
I don't care. I'm not there. And it just to me, like, that's the type of personality you want. It's like, who fucking cares? I'm dead.
Yeah.
I had a good run. I mean, like I said, and he had a great run.
He did. And I feel like
it was ups and downs, but his legacy will be remembered forever.
Yeah. And I feel like that was the way he lived life. He doesn't care. He didn't care as much after he was gone. He tried to do everything he could in the time and the place.
He lived long enough to kind of see how far his creations would go with the movies and being so part of it. Yeah. You know, like he definitely got to see all that stuff come. I mean, if that's not fulfilling, you know.
Yeah, pictures on a book, you know, turning into an entire cinematic universe and, you know, loved by millions and billions of people.
Yeah. People want to know you, the creator.
I think my two favorite things that I'm going to remember him for is
good mustache.
His scenes in Mallrats.
Which they're so great.
Those are amazing, and I love those. And then the stories I'd read about him telling about how he was asked so many times how he created Spider-Man, how he created all these things. And he got tired of trying to make up new and different ways of how he made them, and he just kind of made this because every time someone would ask him, he'd come up with some different ass thing.
Yeah,
as to how he created Spider-Man. It was, I saw a spider on the wall. Oh, I was doing this and all kinds of bullshit, and
just to make it fun for himself.
Yeah, just having fun. And I just thought that was a lot blast.
I've had the pleasure of seeing several panels live with him, and it absolutely was like that. He would just have a good time with everyone, and sometimes his answers would be such bullshit, but they were awesome because people would come up and of course, who would win, the Hulk or Superman? And of course, his answer is
the Hulk.
Whoever's writing them, probably. So he would laugh and be like, "Well, whoever the writer wants him to win." But we all know
publishing the book.
but then he'd say, "But we all know it'd be the Hulk." Stuff like that, like little jabs and stuff. Because he was friends with a bunch of the people in DC, and he started the sort of like fun rivalry between the two that's not as fun anymore because people take it too seriously.
Oh yeah.
But
that podcast thing, Business Insider, did a really good 3-episode run about Marvel and the feud between them and DC, and just kind of how it was dirty back then.
In the 70s and 80s, it kind of took a different kind of turn.
It was pretty cutthroat, like what they were doing. I mean, it was
like anchorman fights.
No, in the 70s and 80s, there was a lot more cooperation between them.
Yeah,
but it was just like they were trying to steal each other's ideas so much so that they would try and sneak into other people's offices. As they were paying like Aaron, the coffee boy would run over there and they'd give him a couple of $100 if they would tell him like the new ideas that were being pitched. Yeah, and it's interesting to see the stuff that they had going on back then. It's a great series, and Stan was, like I said, the biggest thing to me is just how much of a salesman and a hustler he was. He's Absolutely. New York through and through.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, because a lot of people get upset that he's given all the credit, like, oh, you created Spider-Man, and it's like, oh, what about Ditka, and all the stuff with Kirby and stuff like that. But Stan Lee did so much.
He was the face of Marvel.
Not even Marvel, of comic books in general. Yeah. I think if he had not been around, number one, people wouldn't know as much who Kirby and Ditko were.
Yeah.
Or any of the others, and I don't think comics would be what they are today.
No.
He definitely had a huge hand in that because, like you said, he was such a salesman for the whole experience. And he loved comic books. He loved to read them. Because there's so many celebrities and everything posting their experiences with Stan. There were a lot of creators that posted like things, and I remember Walt Simonson.
I love that note he posted.
Yeah, posted a note that he had gotten from Stan Lee while Walt was working on Thor, that said, I love what you're doing with Thor. Keep it up. You're doing a good job. And Walt was like, I didn't even know Stan knew my name, but he was obviously like reading the comics and everything. So he loved the medium.
To me, it's like as he kind of talked about with his name, he didn't want to give his real name. He made Stan Lee until he went and wrote the Great American Novel. And
that was always his dream, yeah.
And the biggest thing about it is, like, he didn't get successful till he stopped giving a shit, essentially. Because, like I said, the story tells he was about to quit. His wife said, write what you want to write.
Yeah.
And then he made Fantastic Four. You got to know, you have to imagine, yourself, you're like, I stopped giving a fuck and now I'm successful.
Yeah.
It's all about what I think now.
Yeah. That guy was
you must have seen The Office
39.
Space.
Yeah.
Guy was 39 when he created Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I've got a few more years.
Yeah. You're in luck, Mike.
But when he started doing the stories and stuff at Marvel, he was 19 or 20?
Yeah,
something
he was
like
in his late teens.
Yeah, so
Aaron Boy.
Aaron Boy filling inkwells and stuff like that.
Because his, I think his first writing assignment was Captain America 14, I believe, the golden age, punching fucking Nazis in the face, Captain America.
The good one?
Because they talk about
Nazis existed when he started.
Yeah, absolutely.
When he became the editor, like he was still so young, like he would have to pretend to be his own secretary and errand guy, and people would come in and he'd talk to the editor and he'd be there and be like, well, he'll be in later. Leave me a message and he'll call you back, and then he would call him back and it was a deeper voice, and that's how he got through. It's interesting, man.
He had a great life. Just so many good stories. Not just stories that he wrote, just fucking stories about his life. There's so many documentaries out there that you can watch, and books and things you can read. And the man was just He was incredible. He was an incredible dude, and he lived an incredible life.
Absolutely.
He's truly, people throw the term around icon. He's truly an icon.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter what the interest is, the field. Very few people are like that. He is an icon.
I don't think it would be overstating to place him on a pedestal with like Walt Disney.
Saint Stanley.
Yeah. So,
maybe one day.
Maybe.
We'll petition the Catholic Church for it.
Yeah.
Yo, Pope. This nerds who get laid.
Yeah. Oh, I love you.
If you don't want to be the weekly nerd turd.
Well, he made Daredevil, so he's already in with the Catholics.
So yeah, that's a huge loss.
Yeah.
To the nerd community, but again, like we said, he was 95. Unfortunately, he's not going to live forever, but we're going to miss you, Stan. We appreciate everything that you've done for us.
Yeah.
So, in
See you around, buddy.
good news,
let's bring it back up.
We're going to bring it back up. Batkid, if you've ever seen the documentary Batkid Begins, this was it's kind of like a Make-A-Wish kind of thing.
It was definitely
this kid had cancer and wanted to be like Batman or a Batman sidekick or a superhero or whatever, and San Francisco made this happen. Like they staged these villain things with Batman. They drove him around in like a black Lamborghini to fight these villains and all this kind of stuff. And
is badass.
I've never seen the documentary because I know it will just make me bawl. It's in my Netflix queue. It has been for a long time.
And shit.
I read the news article and I was like, man, that's very awesome.
Batman for a day,
did that.
or Batman's bank account for a day.
What?
No, Batman for a day.
I've seen Blank Check.
Yeah. But Batkid apparently now is cancer free.
Good for
So
him.
that is awesome.
They have to take back all his experiences.
So, kid, we're gonna wipe your mind now.
We got to return all that fun you had.
All these people are set free now.
Yeah. The villains win.
Dang, Chuck's over here.
Dying.
It's good news.
That's great
awesome.
news.
That's
That's great
really cool.
news.
It's good news.
Here's a rumor for you. We're going to throw out the villain for season 3.
Ray's feet stink.
That's not a rumor.
Latino news.
The villain for season 3 of Westworld. They're looking at Antonio Banderas.
They are doing a third season?
Yeah.
Haven't finished the first one yet.
Is he going to play a character or is he playing himself?
He's playing the mariachi guy.
Oh man, Desperado's here. We're fun. I'm looking for El Roboto. No.
Beep bop, boo.
Do y'all think Banderas has something he can add to this show?
I don't care about him as an actor, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I gotta say,
thanks for shutting that one down.
Well,
Nathan.
I'll have to watch season 2.
He does
Then-
all right.
Yeah.
I mean,
He was great in Puss in Boots.
God.
I
The
mean,
only
the further away he can get it from Shrek, the better. Yeah.
Wait, was he in Shrek?
Yeah, he
I
was
know
Puss in
nothing
Boots.
about
Puss in
Shrek.
Boots and like
Oh,
Shrek
okay.
2 and
I don't know
I
that
know
many
nothing about
movies
Shrek.
with
Puss
old
in Boots.
Antonio.
Assassins. I remember
I
that
haven't
one.
seen a good Antonio Banderas movie since like 1994.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
He's in
true.
Philadelphia.
Like
He was
Who's
Tom
that?
Cruise's. He was Tom Cruise, or no,
Wasn't
Tom
that
Hanks' love
1994?
interest.
Okay.
That's right.
That'd
He
been
had made a good movie since 1994. And Philadelphia was really good.
Yeah.
So the TV show that just won't die, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has
Your
been
fault.
renewed for season 7.
You should have followed it up with Batkid as other things that refuse to die.
Why couldn't I have said
God
that?
damn.
See, it's funny when he says it. It'd be weird if I did.
Well, I was more making a segue.
But
That's what
Always
it's like, right?
I can't believe this show's still going.
I can't either.
Clark
Honestly,
Gregg's
I
not
would
supposed
watch
to be
it.
back either.
Yeah, the Clark Gregg is not on the roster for it.
He's like, fuck it, I'm done.
That's Uncle Phil?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be in. He definitely is in
God.
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Bunch
so.
of fucking B-rolls. No.
But I
Oh no, extra.
And it is like a 13 episode season too.
I
I
didn't
did
see
read that. It's a shorter season.
Yeah.
I think like the last season was because
Yeah.
they're doing them over the summer now. They're not doing them during like a fall schedule.
Yeah, not
type
exactly
thing.
that.
What are they doing
prime
for this
time
now?
material.
Actually, the stuff has been much better the last few seasons. I was telling the guys, like, this is
I
a
don't
show
believe you.
that won't. I said did say better.
I watched 2 episodes of the Ghost Rider season. I'm like, nah, dog, I'm out.
Yeah, this is one of those shows that I watch and I'm mad at myself for watching it, but I still
and we
watch
decided
it.
that there's probably about 1 million other Rays out there that just watch it so angry. You remember I was talking about video games where people keep just giving money and they keep making shit?
Yeah.
That you're part of the problem,
Yeah.
Ray. Just stop watching it.
Ray is the problem.
He just watches
This
and
and The
goes.
Gifted.
He's like, what a big piece of shit I'm watching. Allison's like, come to bed.
Watch the next episode.
I'm watching this shitty show I hate.
I gotta make sure it sucks the entire time.
What if it gets
I'd get
really good
so
and I miss
mad
it?
if it got good in season 2 for like 6
The
episodes.
fourth quarter team, man. Fourth quarter team.
Yeah, the last half of season 2. Yeah, I'll give you that.
And then it sucked ever since.
I was right. It sucked the whole time.
we also got
Can't wait for season 8.
maybe that one will be better. We also got not even a preview, but like an announcement. The Game of Thrones, the final season is going to be out.
Just a montage of all the coolest
Yeah.
shit from the last
Yeah.
season.
or the last few seasons.
I'm surprised we got that much.
I
I mean,
had
I'm
some
surprised
net
we
in
didn't
it.
get
That was
like
all.
Game of Thrones, April 19th.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just
Yeah, you know
There you
what
go.
you know what we got, motherfuckers. Come
They
see
could
us.
seriously do that. They could do no marketing and just be like, "Oh, Game of Thrones comes on
It's
tomorrow."
like
People are like,
text
"Holy
it to
shit!"
everybody in America.
I think Avengers 4 could do that. I mean, I said that
I
about
think so,
Infinity
too.
War as well. But yeah, Avengers 4 could do that as well.
Just the logo and the date. You're
Yeah.
sold.
Yeah, I don't
Yo,
think
dog, we out here. Come on.
Come on
Oh,
out.
shit.
Because man, especially like I can't think of many other shows that can take a 2-year hiatus.
Yeah.
and come back and people are still like, "Fuck yeah,
Venture Brothers.
yeah." I guess Adult Swim does that a lot, but
Yeah, but I was a joke because it's nowhere near the same.
No.
Wait, has it been 2 years since the last season? Or no, it's been a year and a half.
It's been a year and a half, yeah. When you
It
add
comes
6
out
more
in
months
April.
to it, it becomes 2 years.
Yeah.
so it's to me just.
But now we have a day. Now we have
Have a
a,
day, yeah.
a mark.
I was
we have
waiting for
something
him
to
to be
shoot
like, "Oh yeah, no, we're gonna do
March
2020." We think
January of 2020.
You know what?
Yeah.
We're all
December
just
25th of 2019.
we're all just real tired here. We got to let old RR catch up.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take another
you know what? That's
year.
the saddest thing is since this show's been on, I've been waiting for the next book. And the entire fucking series, they took 2 years off, essentially, and he's still not going to finish it.
You think I'm joking, but I saw an article that said he's having trouble finishing the book.
No.
It's like, dog, we know how it is. Come on, man.
How long ago did this series start?
1990 was when Game of Thrones initially
Not
came
not
out.
the books.
The shows?
The
The show
shows.
started
the
in
show?
1990.
8 years ago?
2008?
It'd been
10?
It would have been 2010, I think. 2010 or 2011. That's when it came out.
about right.
Yeah.
Round
Okay.
about there.
Because it was right when I started working at Verizon, actually. That's how I remember it. Because it wasn't until Mike taught me to watch the first
2011.
season.
2011.
So
Wow.
Yeah. At this point, he should just make an adaptation of the show and just throw his, throw a couple extra characters in there to kill.
yeah.
And then boom.
That's thrusting murder sounds.
Fucking control,
Wait a minute.
delete the
This
entire 2 chapters you wrote.
Everybody should love this character by now. Dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, let me describe how someone's balls feel fire, like in the 4th book.
That's what I really expect is that
that still haunts me.
this last season is going to come out, and then he's going to tweet and be like, "Nah, I don't need to finish the book anymore.
Yeah.
The show's pretty good."
No, I dollars to donuts. He kicks the bucket before the next book comes out.
Oh
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Unless he's working on the next 2, it will never happen.
No.
No,
No.
it's taken him almost 30 years to write 4 books or 5 books.
Someone needs to hit him with a
that
van.
man.
Well, and one of the books is essentially, excerpts of the other books.
Someone needs to hit him with a van. It worked wonders for Stephen King.
He's going to fuck the van up.
Probably.
I would love to run into George R.R. Martin because apparently he carries these little fucking coins around and he gives them to his fans.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, like people are like, "I met George R.R. Martin. Look what he gave me." And he carries these Game of Thrones coins.
Fuck off.
So we hit him with a van, take his coins, And then he gets an epiphany. Hey, I'm going to fucking die because this van just hit me. I need to write a bunch of books and finish up my long-standing series.
As
Hit him
he
with
eats
a
his
food truck
as
that
he eats
sells
2
only
pounds,
Reubens.
as he eats his 2 pounds of bacon every morning, and then a steak for lunch, and as his heart slowly stops beating at night.
That's when he knows it's time to nap, when his heart starts chugging. Gotta let it catch up.
I'm about to have a heart attack. Time to take a nap. Are you going to write? No.
He calls it a heart and nap.
Hard a nap.
He's like, well, I would write, but I'm really waiting on the next season to come out.
I'm waiting for my muse.
I need some inspiration.
Oh, that's a good idea. How the fuck? That's what it is. He's like, he has no idea how to end it. He's like, well, they're fucking doing it for me.
Yeah. Smart.
Yeah.
Well, didn't he
Work
say
smart,
he
not hard,
told them
man.
how he planned to end the books
Yeah.
anyway?
That's what he
Everybody
says.
dies.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
Well, that was the agreement. He's like, you have to tell us how you think it's going to end because we're pretty much expect you to die by the end of this.
Yeah.
And no, his little
It was
ass-
all just a mural on the side of someone's van.
Premonition.
that would be amazing.
I'd be okay with that ending. It's fucking Hordor, the fucking DJ, like riding down like.
Oh God!
Yeah.
He's been trolling us since 1990.
It was all a dream.
Oh God. So we were talking about DC Universe, and one of the long-awaited things that they're going to be adding on January 4th, 2019 is Young Justice Outsiders. So Young Justice was kind of canceled prematurely, a lot of people think.
Yes.
And they're going to kind of finish it out. I know Nathan watched the what was the Teen Titans Go movie?
Yeah.
Go to the movie.
Yeah.
Did you see the final scene where it's the Young Justice characters?
No.
Okay, because there's also supposed to be a. I think this is going to be. What does Teen Titans Go come on? Is it Adult Swim or not?
It's Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network, yeah.
I think there's supposed to be a Young Justice verse or meets Teen Titans Go.
Okay.
So that was like kind of a little teaser in that movie.
Yeah.
But they're going to finish out the Young Justice series. I know TJ, you've watched this. Chuck, have you watched Young Justice?
No, sir. Young Justice was great.
Yeah, Young Justice was a really good series,
and
people have been asking for it to come back for years.
Give me that Young Justice.
No, it's criminal how
The
they
younger,
ended
the better.
that series. So
Infant Justice.
it'd be like if they said, all right, never mind, we're not making an Avengers 4, we're just going to leave Infinity War where it ended and just move on to completely different things.
Or like if you had a really, really great X-Men cartoon called Wolverine and the X-Men, and then you ended it on
exactly
what
like
looked
that.
like it was going to be Days of Future Past, and then never had a another season.
Age of Apocalypse.
Age of Apocalypse. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. I'm still bitter about that one.
fucking cock tease.
Yeah. Just Cause. Number 4. It doesn't have I don't think it has a subtitle or anything. Nathan, you're a big fan of these, and we got a kind of long trailer of
like a breakdown of the gameplay
This
and
is
the
what
additions.
you will have guns, and there will be cars,
Tornadoes and
explosions,
shit.
tornadoes.
Tornadoes, sandstorms.
You need to stop the tornadoes with a jetpack.
The game is always just pure chaos. You can pretty much destroy everything. The gameplay is always a lot of fun. The stories are so, but I play that game for the free roam. You can just show up on bases and blow up every structure that's in there, and it looks like they've added so much more to your, I guess, bag of tricks. One of the things that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun is these giant balloons that you can attach to stuff and make them float off. That just is going to be hours of fun in itself, especially the fact that you can make it float into a tornado that's there and then jump out in your wingsuit and fly around. Ah, man, I love the games, and it has a grappling hook. And, I mean, what is cooler about a game than a guy that rides around and can grapple hook to shit and take off? That's
why people love Batman.
I'll tell you, the one thing it made me do is wish there was a Saints Row 5 coming out.
Oh man!
Yeah, if Just Cause 3, I know it came out on PlayStation. It was one of their free games for a while, and I think so. It might be one that cycles. If you ever see it for free, it's worth every $0 because I bought that one I think when it came out, And I played all the Just Cause. They're a lot of fun. Very, very fun. It's definitely one of the ones that you can jump in, go cause destruction, and just jump out. You're not, tied into a story. At least personally for me, I've never really thought the stories were that great.
No.
But
no, I played the first one. I haven't played the other two, but it was a lot of fun.
Graphics are always really good, and the mechanics are usually solid. Gunplay is a lot of fun. I don't know. I can't. December 4th, I'll probably be buying it. I didn't know it was coming out. I'm kind of
$60.
$60 whole dollars.
60 American dollars that Nathan's going to spend on this.
I probably will.
Wow.
Or I might wait 6 months and see a PlayStation.
This will be your third $60 game this year.
Yeah. I'm going all out. I haven't bought this many games in a long time.
I haven't bought as many games as I bought this year.
That's 3 for me so far this year. Yeah. Damn.
Bought that Spider-Man. I plan on getting that Red Dead. All right, so we had a couple of movie trailers come out this week.
Just Cause 4, and then I'll give you Red Dead.
One of the first ones, the Dumbo trailer for the live-action Dumbo film. It's a Tim Burton. What are your guys' thoughts?
Looks like a quintessential Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
So eerily whimsical.
Yes.
I'll watch it on Netflix.
Disney's other live-action movies
interested at all,
haven't
honestly.
been bad. Their live-action remakes have not been bad.
I have no desire to watch them.
I didn't like Dumbo when it was animated.
Yeah, but it also didn't have Michael Keaton and Danny DeVito in it.
Yeah, it wasn't directed by Tim Burton.
I'll give it a shot.
I don't mind Tim Burton.
But
here and
would
there.
you go see it in theaters?
Depends.
I just thought Johnny Depp was a weird casting for Dumbo's mom.
Helena Bonham Carter as Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
That is a twist I did not see coming.
I want you to play another character inside of a movie. It'll be really wacky.
RDJ did it in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. I was really the cast is great. I'll give him that, and the CGI looks Tim Burton. Like he does CGI very weird because I think
he really does.
I think it's how he wants it. Because when the Alice in Wonderland movies are coming out, I've never watched them, but I've seen the previews and stuff. I thought the CGI looked horrible, but I'm like, well, it's Tim Burton. That he has clout that he probably could get the budget he wants. So I think it's a stylistic choice.
I think you're right, honestly.
And this looks very similar to the type of CGI he uses.
I wonder if he has a very specific company or whatever that he uses for his CGI.
He probably owns the company, so it's just him putting money into it. Because he seems like someone that would do that. It's not bad CGI per se. It's very apparent CGI.
Stylized.
Yeah. There you go, stylized. Because Dumbo looks really good. I will say, like the effects they use on the animals in these Disney-based movies are pretty impressive.
It seems like every time one of these movies comes out, we always end up just being like, you know what? The CGI looks real good on them.
Yeah.
And that's just where it stays. That's where it lands. That's where it stays. I guess because they're movies we already know what happens in Dumbo. We've all seen Dumbo. Everyone's seen Dumbo. Same thing with Beauty and the Beast. We all know what happens in Beauty and the Beast. That's almost all you're going to it for.
Because I watch them, and I haven't watched all of them, but I watched like Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah,
and it's like you walk away with it and go, it wasn't bad.
Yeah,
but I have no desire to ever watch it again.
Yeah,
I don't see. And I could be wrong, but I don't see kids watching these movies and it becoming their favorite and growing up on it.
No.
It just seems more like it's one of those things like, that'd be cool to see. I'll spend the money. So they're probably having to be real smart with how much money they put into making it to make back on, the theater.
These are those kind of movies, though, that are going to look more. They're going to be classic. They're going to be more timeless, and they're going to be able to release these from now till Kingdom Come.
I don't think they're as timeless as the original animated ones.
No, because Cinderella.
Why sell one movie when you can sell two?
But like Cinderella came out a while now, and like no one talks about that one anymore. These movies, I don't think have like legs where they last.
Staying power.
No.
Yeah. They come out and people see them and they enjoy them, but I don't think it's those movies where when you mention Cinderella, they go, oh, but the live action, I love that.
Yeah.
No.
It's just like, I saw it. It was really good. It was a pretty good adaptation.
Yeah. We also had the Jungle Book one came out.
There's been several ones, but Disney did have one.
And Aladdin's coming out next year.
Aladdin is the first one that I'm like, I might go see that.
I'm not curious on going to the theater and seeing it.
There's only two I want to see.
Enough to do that.
I would. Aladdin's like my favorite Disney one, so I'd go see it if the preview.
How about Lion King?
Yeah.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe. The thing is, I tried to watch the Jungle Book one, and like I was just, I don't know, something about like when it's a cartoon, I'm okay with the animals moving around talking, but when it's like super realistic looking, I'm like, I'm not as into it.
Not into it.
Yeah. That's one thing that is changed from this on Dumbo is the mice aren't. You don't have the mouse talking to Dumbo.
Yeah.
You don't have the crows. You don't have any of that stuff. It's like a couple of kids.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to do the crows.
No,
that was super racist shit.
But it's part of the movie.
Yeah, but you gotta
can change the voices and stuff like that. I mean, you can readapt.
I haven't watched Dumbo in a long time, so I don't remember how much they really added to the story.
It's where they got the feather.
Yeah, they made fun of it.
It's when he gets drunk and ends up on top of power line with the crows.
They better have
the feather.
Dumbo get drunk.
No, they won't.
No, they won't.
But you did see a little bit of the
smoke some
but
dope.
you saw like a bubble shape moving
you get the
at one
bubbles,
part.
but you don't get like the drunk ass elephant shit. Yeah.
There's only 2 Disney movies I'd want to see live action.
Actually, if they do the Beware, the fucking Dumbo. No, I'm thinking of fucking Winnie the Pooh. Never mind.
Yeah.
Isn't there like a super crazy trippy scene on the original Dumbo?
Yeah. It's when he gets drunk as fuck.
Yeah.
The elephant's on parade.
I'm gonna say they're gonna do it with Tim Burton at the helm.
It won't be him getting drunk. It'll be something different.
Yeah,
Maybe
like having a nightmare.
Listen, on the dinosaur movie, they ate shrooms and tripped on that Pixar dinosaur movie. I can see this little elephant getting drunk.
There's a
or he's
difference.
gonna do drugs.
I don't know.
I think it'll be like
He's
more
gonna
like a
do
nightmare
one
scene.
weed.
He's gonna get a weed
all over.
It'll be like a nightmare scene. I think like he's having a bad dream and he's seeing that.
Yeah,
because his mom's gone.
I don't think they're gonna have him get drunk.
No, if
I think
did,
they are.
Let's
Let's make a bet.
Charles, he's calling
you out.
I'm calling TJ and Charles up on this bet.
Oh, son of a bitch! I owe him $20 anyway. God damn it!
I owe him a tattoo still.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
I'm a gambling man.
No, I'm not.
I'm waiting
for double or nothing.
No,
5 to 10 years.
You said bet. No, I just remember what the bet was about. Venom coming out this year.
Oh,
Yeah, I made a bet so it wouldn't.
No drunk Dumbo.
No drunk Dumbo. All right, so the other trailer we got was a Toy Story 4 trailer. It's more of a teaser.
It was a teaser.
I'll have to admit, I've never watched the Toy Stories. That was before. I maybe have seen the first one. I can't remember. I've seen enough of it. It's a cultural thing, so like I am aware of the Toy Stories.
Some of the best movies you can watch.
They are really good.
I was older when they came out,
so was I. I was in the Army in a theater when I watched the original Toy Story.
Ray has this persona of cool that he's always.
I was in the
I'm
Army
not going to watch no kids
soldiers.
movie.
Yeah,
I was in the Army with a bunch of soldiers, and we were in a theater watching Toy Story.
Toy Stories.
There was maybe 5 kids total in there because that's all the kids on the Army base.
Was that I LOL'd a lot during this trailer, this teaser.
Yeah, you did.
It's good. I'm almost disappointed just because Toy Story 3 wrapped up beautifully.
I thought so too.
You know, it was one of those things like they really put a period on it. I felt there was a really good period.
Well, and according to this teaser, it feels like they know that.
And they probably do. I mean, I'll give them that because there was another teaser that came out before this one that I saw, which this one's way better.
Yeah.
But it was like them just like holding hands and like looks like they're kind of jumping around circles, and then it was definitely a teaser-esque. But I'm just curious where it's going to go and how the story is going to continue. I mean, it's toys, so they can pretty much put them where they want to. But number 3 was near flawless of a movie. As far as story, like there's scenes in that one where like you're truly like on the edge of your seat, like when they're in the incinerator, with the toys. Like, oh my god, I was like, this is intense because they essentially there's a scene if you haven't seen it, I guess spoilers.
I haven't seen it,
but it's been 7?
Yeah, but
it's been a while.
They have found their way, you know, through their adventures that they're in a garbage incinerator. And essentially, they're slowly sliding down a slope going towards the fire, and they accept their fate. And they all start holding hands and just giving like these remorseful looks. The music's very dramatic, and you're like, "Holy, are they?" You know, in the back of your head, like, "There's no way they're going to allow this to happen." But they're so
and they keep getting closer, and everybody closes their eyes.
Yeah, it's just like you're like, for a cartoon, I've never been more like emotionally involved.
Yeah. And you see the fire kind of reflected off of them. It
was so well done.
Yeah.
And hats off to Pixar for making that entire movie, but especially that scene. So for that, they really got to bring it for this.
Yeah.
For number 4.
And then with the end of it too. I mean, I don't
Andy's-
think there's a dry eye in the house.
No, Andy finally
At the
says
end of
goodbye. He's grown. He's leaving his toys to this other family.
Yeah, it was, man.
So
It's like the beginning of Up, except at the end of the movie.
Yeah. So the only thing I can think is this will be kicking off another 3-movie sequel. Is like my guess. It's like because it'll probably be a new adventures with new family.
I feel like doing Toy Story is like printing money for them right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they have so many of like your age people like locked in that are going to go see it no matter what now, and new kids and everything. That's just an excuse for their parents to, it's an excuse for you to take Marshall and be like, hey, here's all these other old ones.
Because Marshall loves them.
I'm sure.
Yeah, like it's definitely a great thing. So I'm all for it. I'm curious, and I'll probably be there. I mean, it's a Toy Story.
I have no problem with these kind of movies that are kind of exploiting themselves, sort of, but still put out the best quality.
If there's quality behind it, go for it.
Because my thing, like Pixar used to be bulletproof, where like you just knew every movie they were putting out was going to be like near perfect, that they didn't rush anything. But the last couple of years, they seem to have wavered a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they're necessarily putting like subpar, but like I don't know, like I'm trying to think. They've released a few movies that I don't even remember now. They used to be like
Incredibles 2 came out, and I'm ashamed to say I saw it.
I passed on it. They released the Coco movie, the Day of the Dead.
Didn't watch that,
which was a complete ripoff of a Dream
DreamWorks film.
DreamWorks film. So it's things like that. I was very just like, why are they doing this? They used to be so much better. So hopefully this is them getting their feet back on the trail and going back to being the best.
Because Allison likes to, anytime a Pixar film comes out, she likes to refer to Nathan as a Pixar pussy. But I think it goes back to us arguing about that dinosaur one that came out. I was like, I'm no way.
That was a good one.
Yeah, no. Another surprise trailer that we got, Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, that truly was a surprise.
Yes.
I was ignoring it. Like
I didn't even know it was coming out.
No, everybody at work was talking about it. Oh man, did you see the Pokemon movie? I was like, no, and I'm probably not going to. And I saw like a GIF, and I was like, you know what, Pikachu actually looks pretty good. And then like literally one of my coworkers walked up and said, "Dude, you have to watch this," and like forced me to watch it. I was like, all right, fine, I'll watch it. And I'm glad he did, because I walked away going, holy shit, that looks really good. Like they took Pokemon and put it into a world where I feel, as someone that never watched Pokemon, never played Pokemon, the video games, like I'm somewhat interested in this world they're building.
I was involved in that like 3 months of Pokemon Go that everyone was.
Go, but there was no story to that.
No. But that's what I know about Pokemon is that. Yeah. So
between Katie and Ann, I was pretty much going to go see this. So now I definitely am.
Ryan Reynolds as Detective Pikachu, or just Pikachu, or whatever.
And see, when I first heard that, I was like, oh, that's funny. It's probably gonna be Ryan Reynolds just going Pika Pika, or just him doing like the voice, that's it. And they bill him as the voice actor. But no, he's actually doing a full on acting gig, and you got Pikachu with the Ryan Reynolds he has a gruffer voice. It's like, hey, let's make some deals. And apparently, the premise of the trailer, if you haven't watched it, is like there's a kid and he meets Pikachu and he actually understands him, and that's a big deal. Like, because no one has ever.
Everyone else just hears Pika Pika Pika,
which is a pretty good payoff of a joke, I have to say, for that trailer.
Yeah, especially because the inverse is true in all the cartoons that I've had to watch with my kids. Is that Pikachu is one of the only Pokemon you can't understand.
Oh, and the rest can talk.
Yeah, nobody else can talk to Pikachu. All you hear is Pika Pika, and all the other ones can say different words and everything. That little yellow sumbitch, that's the only thing he can say.
The graphics look pretty solid.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah, all the Pokemon look great in it.
They retain their cuteness of Pokemon, but they've put them in a human world where it works pretty well, actually.
Yeah, it has this strange realism to it that like seems to work.
Like they keep their cute form, but they give them that realistic texture of hair and stuff. That's cool. Mike, were you ever a Pokemon guy growing up with the cards and stuff?
I never played the card game, and I wasn't too interested in the cartoon. I did watch it from time to time, but I kind of skipped over the Pokemon fad. This movie definitely looks funny and interesting. I guess I'll watch it, but it's not something that's really exciting me.
Not on the top of your list right now.
Not at all.
It gives me some hope for the Legend of Zelda, though.
Yeah,
that they talked about
Nintendo property.
That was, I think that we were kind of talking before. Is like Nintendo for so long is after getting burned on the Mario Brothers movie, they've kind of really held on to their rights and haven't released it. And we were kind of theorizing that, like, with them having like the new Island of Universal coming out, I think there's about to be a push of Nintendo coming back out. Besides just being a gaming system, which are always successful.
I think they need that because their Switch is fine, but I don't think it's doing great.
I
the
think
Wii wasn't doing great. Yeah,
they've been number 3 in the consoles. Well, I mean, the Wii was kind of. I look at the Wii as more of an aberration than
that was a completely different thing.
Yeah. But they've been kind of in last place since the Nintendo 64 on these console wars.
I feel like they're still innovating and doing different things. The different things they're doing just aren't what people want right now.
No,
but pushing themselves, like you said, with the Universal stuff, and maybe having this push with movies and stuff like that, could be really good for them.
It makes those franchises big again because I think Zelda still carries a lot of weight, but to me, it's carrying the weight of people our age that grew up playing Zelda. I think, like with kids nowadays that are coming up, like it's not that they won't play the Zelda games, but so many things are like they're on different forms that really grow the brands out.
Yeah,
and so them doing things like this, like having movies and video games, because like they have the new Pokemon game that's about to come out. Those type of things like go hand in hand, which just makes it even a bigger phenomenon.
Yeah,
so
I don't think if like all the stuff we were fans of in the 80s, I don't think if that stuff came out today, it would even just get our attention anymore.
No.
Yeah, there's a lot more things coming out, so
there's a lot more noise. It was a lot clearer back then. Back then, if it came on TV, you pretty much had a guaranteed audience.
Yeah.
Now there's so many different forms that
with the internet and Netflix's.
Your marketing has to be strong.
Yeah,
otherwise people will never hear of you.
Nope. All right, well, that's it for the news, but we do have a couple of mailbag questions, so we'll come back and answer those if y'all are into it.
All right.
Okay.
All right, guys, we got 3 questions this week. First, we have from Katie. It's Thanksgiving week. Yes, it is. What are you guys thankful for?
Questions like this.
Yeah. We're thankful for all our listeners listening and downloading and telling all your friend and all your friend
on
iTunes. They are nerds.
Yeah,
as long as they have a huge social network.
And
we're thankful for you listening on Spotify and subscribing to us on YouTube and subscribing on Spotify and rating us and reviewing us on iTunes. We're thankful for all of that y'all have done for us.
And we're thankful for those of you that are going to do it in the future.
Yeah, that haven't gotten to it yet, but are going to do it when you hear this.
Yes.
So just keep saying, I'll do it next week.
Just do it now.
I'm thankful that we have 2 separate forms of cranberry sauce, both jellied and whole.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a good thing, too, to be thankful for.
Thankful John Cena's protecting my ditch.
Protecting your dick.
I mean, it's John Cena. I don't see nothing.
It's done it for 10 years now.
11.
All right, Chris says, what's your thoughts on the new John Landau and James Cameron film, Alita? Battle Angel, does it do it justice? As far as justice goes, I don't think any of us are familiar with the source work, are you?
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't really answer this question.
Yeah.
With all I can say is it looks really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is one of those types. This is for me. It's like the movie's going to be good. Now I'm going to want to look into the source material from it after I see it.
Yeah,
but it's
we're documented as not being huge in the anime and manga world. Like that's not our things.
Not our bag.
I mean, even if it's a shot-for-shot remake, sometimes that doesn't work. I mean, look at Ghost in the Shell. That was almost a shot-for-shot remake.
That's true.
And it bombed.
Yeah. That's the only thing I worry about this is because I think it looks really, really cool.
Yeah, it really does.
But you have good actors. You have Christoph Waltz. You have Marshall Ali.
Well, Ghost in the Shell had what's
ScarJo.
You know, it had good. It's just because the movie looks good to us, like we've seen them like not get the same support because that's a pretty heavy sci-fi trailer right there.
No, absolutely.
And it's January, right?
February
February.
6th.
And it's a great time for it to come out.
It really is.
Oh, I hope it does well because
Yeah.
that looks like a world that I would like to see a few movies.
I don't know if it's going to be able to compete with the standard early year Mark Wahlberg action film.
If only Mark Wahlberg would have been available for
Mark
this movie.
Wahlberg, Battle Angel.
All right. So, Brian Marshall asked, what was your favorite piece of work from the great Stan Lee? Does anyone have a favorite work?
Piece of work?
I've read through all of the Silver Age X-Men, and it wasn't my favorite. And I was really disappointed because I do love Stan so much. I think he's done so much for it. But then I've read through a lot of the Silver Age Spider-Man, and it is excellent. The writing in it is so much better than the X-Men stuff. So I sort of kind of see, like, X-Men got canceled way before 100. I don't 80s.
Yeah,
no,
he
60s, 70s.
He was only a writer on it for a little while on X-Men because I think it was Roy Thomas took over for him on that for a long time, and then he didn't do terribly long runs on any of these.
No.
It's probably about
He did over 100 on. I think he did 100 on Spider-Man, and he did a real long run on Fantastic Four.
yeah.
But those were his main two. I don't know. I so far of what I've read of Stan Lee's,
I like his character Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I like that.
the Spider-Man.
I like his cameos.
I'll make a broad stroke there.
I'm just a very big fan of the man himself. Honestly,
My favorite piece of work that he's done was that nude photo spread he did with
that
the
is
Incredible
so
Hulk
hilarious.
cover.
Yeah,
Covering up his
or in the
his dong.
70s.
What?
You know
It's
what?
a classic picture.
It's-
It's kind of a riff on the Burt Reynolds one.
Okay.
I post it almost every year on his birthday.
It's way more erotic
Yeah, absolutely.
than Burt Reynolds could ever
Incredible
be.
Because he needed the Hulk to cover his dong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So moving on,
Stan length.
Brian says Wednesday there are. It's probably Thursday because I think movies come out on Thursday. But Wednesday there's 3 major movies hitting the theaters. From those and the rest of the movies coming out this year, what are you most excited for?
Which ones are...
Creed comes out this week.
Creed
2.
I think the ones he's talking about are Creed 2.
it would
Wreck-It
be Wednesday
Ralph.
this week, right? Because Thanksgiving's Thursday.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Creed 2, Wreck-It Ralph,
2.
and the new Robin Hood that I did not even know was coming out.
on that.
But then the rest of the year, you have the Bumblebee.
There's so much shit coming out in December.
Yeah,
that
there's
makes
a
me
lot
go,
of
The
stuff.
Spider-Verse movie.
The Spider-Verse movie. The
Bumblebee looks good.
Yeah.
Welcome to Marwin. I want to see
was the other
that.
one.
Mortal Engines.
Mortal Engines is coming out in December.
That's gonna flop.
It
It'll
is.
flop,
It is.
but it'll be
I'm gonna
it'll
go
be
watch
Jackson,
fun.
no.
It
Peter
doesn't
Jackson
matter.
hasn't flopped, though.
Yeah, he has.
Oh yeah.
He's made money on his movies.
Yeah, but that's a
He's
weird
flopped.
one.
Yeah.
Aquaman's coming out, and that's
Yeah,
a lot better.
Jesus, there is
Aquaman and Bumblebee are both coming out on the 21st of December, as is Holmes and Watson, Welcome to Marwin. And then Christmas is nothing really big. That's interesting.
Yeah, those movies come out a little before Christmas, so you can kind of make your plans to see them on Christmas Day.
Oh, yeah.
But Holmes and Watson.
And then the 14th is Mortal Engines and Into the Spider-Verse.
And Mary
I know
Poppins
which
comes out
ones
on
of
the
those I'd be
19th.
seeing.
Yes.
Yeah, and that doesn't look bad
pretty
either.
packed. Yeah, a couple of months.
It really is. I'm looking forward to Mortal Engines. I'm hoping it may flop. I'm hoping it's a good film at least. I'm surprisingly excited about Bumblebee.
Yeah,
and I'm scared of that.
Don't be.
I've only seen the one preview. Have they released anything else?
Yeah, they've had a couple
2
of
trailers.
trailers. Yeah, they've had 2 trailers.
Usually you get another one by now.
Probably, we might get one more.
Yeah.
But there may be some TV
It's so
trailers
close
and stuff.
to the release. That
But
I doubt
also,
they put
like
another one
Into
out.
Spider-Verse, I think is going to be the winner.
I'm really excited for that.
That's my 100% going to go see.
Spider-Verse or Transformers?
No, Spider-Verse.
Okay.
And then I really want to see Welcome to Marwin. I normally don't go to like the Oscar bait type things, but this looks kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of in my wheelhouse, taking pictures of figures and stuff like that.
I think it'll be Gainesville. It won't be here.
Oh, the Steve Carell.
Yeah, Steve Carell.
Yeah,
Allison wants to go see that one too. So It's Steve Carell. It's going to be a tearjerker as well.
Yeah, there's
It
a lot.
makes
There's
it sad
a
movies.
lot of
Did
money
anyone
to
get to
spend.
see Steve Carell on
Yes,
Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
I watched it this
I watched
morning,
it.
but yeah,
I watched the opening
The
monologue.
opening. Yeah, that's what I meant. Where they were talking about the.
the rest of the episode sucked. The monologue was pretty fun.
Pretty much how Saturday Night Live goes.
Yeah, a lot of the people from the office, or a few people from the office, showed up, and they made a joke about a reunion and everything. But
They're like, Steve, come back. So we
So much
need the
money.
money.
my
God
favorite
damn it.
was you can quit making those sad movies.
Oh, his wife and kids were there too.
yeah.
They're like,
They're like, we don't need you home.
yeah.
You're good.
In fact, let's go.
Yeah.
Stop making those sad
Those sad movies, yeah. So the
Classic.
3 that are coming out this week,
They're good. Like, I
Wreck-It
want to see
Ralph.
Creed 2. I want to see Wreck-It Ralph, but I don't know if that's like I'll go to the theater and
I don't
see
know whether
them.
I assume Robin Hood's the third one. I don't know
That's
why.
because that's the one with the dude from Kingsman.
Yeah, from Kingsman.
Yeah.
It looks like a ninja. Like he's literally wearing almost a ninja outfit the entire preview.
Yeah.
It looks like a dog shit.
I'm
Yeah.
going to go see Fantastic Beasts this week. That's the only movie I'm going to see this week that I know for sure.
You should go see it. It's good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
You too, Nathan.
Yep. So, Mike, what are you looking forward to the rest of the year? What's your main one?
Probably Alita Battle Angel.
Okay.
Seems to be the thing that's right up my sci-fi wheelhouse alley.
When is that one coming out?
February.
Oh, that's February.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Originally, I believe it was supposed to be a
It
December
was
release,
supposed to be a December release.
and they pushed it back.
That's what it was. Well, then I guess I don't know, Aquaman or some shit.
Fuck them all.
Nothing really.
Nothing.
I'm not really excited until March.
I thought you would have liked Battle Engine or Mortal Engines.
No, Mortal Engines just seems kind of.
Pretty convoluted.
I already know I'm
looking.
going to have a problem with it because it's going to be they're going to end it for the
I don't know.
sequel.
There's this trend of making movies out of like badly translated movies from popular teen fiction.
Is
Oh, that's what this
Engine?
is?
Oh, I thought this was an original thing. There's no original things anymore.
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I'm just assuming.
What else?
Yeah. You're probably not wrong.
Let me check.
We'll sit here
Why would we
quietly
do
while
that?
We check.
Why
While
would
Mike
we
checks.
fact check our sources
We haven't
on
for
these portable?
242 episodes.
Yeah. Jesus.
Broad stroke assumptions.
Guys.
Yeah. Did Latino Review say anything about it?
What the fuck is a fact?
You know, I'm actually kind of upset because Latino Review doesn't get brought up enough anymore.
don't.
They
They really
were
don't.
such a hard source. Like
When we started
a
this
reliable
podcast-
source, actually.
Yeah.
I
When we
Most
first
of the stuff
started,
that we would read
felt
off
like,
of that.
It felt like they were one of those things that had like, if you put a target up and then you had a bomber jet just drop a bunch of like pins down, they would hit a few.
Hey, but everything that they reported that we reported tend to usually be pretty on the money.
Oh, that was probably because of me.
Nah, yeah, right.
So-
I was good at picking them
Chuck
out.
is
okay, Mike.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. The fact.
It's a teen novel.
Boy.
is it really?
All right. Yeah, it's
Oh,
written
wow.
in 2001.
God damn it.
Now
I'm less
Peter
excited
Jackson.
about
Now Allison will be excited.
Yeah, she will.
Yeah.
Kids books, I love them.
Teen drama. Oh my God.
Is the Miz in it?
Krista, let's go.
Are they eating shredded wheat?
Let's get a big bucket of shredded wheat and go down to the
Allison
movie.
just goes to high school and like puts like love letters in random lockers and like condom wrappers and shit, just to sit there and watch it.
Old school
fun.
catfishing.
Old school catfishing. All right, well that's it for us.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. We hope you have a decent one.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah.
There won't be an episode next week.
Yeah.
I'll be out of the
God bless.
state.
Actually, no, we're still going to break
That's
into
something
Ray's
to
house.
be thankful for, guys.
Yeah, be thankful. Ray
Why don't
will
you
be
just
out
take
of
your
the state.
vacation earlier
Well,
and come
in
back
reference to
Sunday.
Stanley, I'm going to quote Theodore Roosevelt on the day both his wife and his mother died. The light has gone out of my life.
Excelsior.
I'm a ray of light in Mike's life.
Quicker than a ray of light. Love that Madonna song. See you later.
Bye, people.
Dicks.
Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes is recorded at the illustrious Big Brown Record Town Studios in beautiful downtown Lake City. Episodes are published each Monday on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, and Google Play. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Nerds Who Get Laid. We're at Nerds Who Get Laid on Twitter and Instagram. We're part of the Geeks World Wide podcast network. You can find reviews and articles we write at thegww.com. We're also part of the Modest Pod podcast network. We're on FloridaGeekscene.com and also WeBeGeeksPC.com. Please subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. You can also check out the show notes for links about things we talked about in this episode. Thanks so much.
This has been a production of the GWW Radio Network. Please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Also, check out Geeks Worldwide at thegww.com for all the latest news, reviews, and opinions on video games, comics, movies, TV, cosplay, and more. Geeks Assemble!